We have to ask ourselves why this is so. We cannot run away from the fact that one of the major obstacles to interfaith, intercivilizational dialogue is the hegemonic structure of global power. One has to overcome that. In other words, there has to be a more equitable distribution of power in all its manifestations: economic, political, cultural, intellectual, psychological. And only then would you be able to create the environment for meaningful dialogue, understanding one another. In other words, what one is saying is, how can one really develop relationships of respect and love for one another if one seeks to dominate the other? You just can't. It reminds me of one of my favorite passages from one of the writings of Leo Tolstoy, one of the great writers of the last 2 centuries. Tolstoy has this passage somewhere where he says, I sit on a man's back and I tell him that I wish the best for him and I'll do everything to help him except to get off his back. I think this is the problem. People have to understand this, that you cannot have genuine interfaith interaction, intercivilizational interaction, as long as there is dominance and control. Now that should be the one goal that we should all concentrate upon. This should be our mission, to liberate ourselves from that sort of structure, which means that everyone in the East and West, North and South, we have got roles to play to bring about this change. In fact, in some ways, people in the West have a much bigger role to play in bringing about this change. Unfortunately, not many Americans or Europeans, for that matter, even recognize the fact that there is dominance and control, that this is part of the problem. They are learning much more in European schools, for instance, about other cultures today. It's remarkable, the changes that have taken place in their syllabus and so on, but they don't see this other aspect of reality, which is the actual dominance that is happening in relation to economics and politics and so on. So we'll have to try to change that through concerted global movements where people come together, work together. We have to ask ourselves why this is so. We cannot run away from the fact that one of the major obstacles to interfaith, intercivilizational dialogue is the hegemonic structure of global power.